So, here we are. Here we are again for another Doobie Nights podcast, commentary slash episode commentary slash conversation with a special guest, Mark Inducil, director slash DOP slash what else are you? What would you say?
Editor.
Yeah. Very good one.
I don't know. VFX.
So we're here, Sam, Mark, and myself, and we're here to talk about Green Out. But before we do, just a bit of an intro backstory. And that is that Mark has pretty much been a part of the Doobie Nights scene from the get-go, from the intro episode, the Munchies, then Green Out, and then had to make a slight exit, kind of, and
escape more.
Yeah,
more
escape,
word.
Escape. Yeah. I believe the way you put it was, "This is your child that I want to play with, but you can have it back."
I think I told you that I'm the uncle and you're the dad. So you have to be the dad, and I'll be like the uncle who comes in and then leaves. Pretty
at
much.
that time, it was a good thing that the baby didn't quite understand words. So there's no offense taken. It wasn't insulted. It didn't mutate into anything.
That's
really.
good.
But it all kind of worked out. But where we're sitting now is in a good place. We had a very good outcome of your episode that you directed, Green Out, and we actually recorded a podcast, or an attempt at one, right after the wrap of shooting the episode nearly a year ago. If you guys remember.
Was it a year already?
Nearly.
Wow.
Fuck.
That was for Green Out.
It's really, I have to say, it's really strange to talk this way.
Yeah.
Because like normally if you talk to me, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
But since we've got this recorder in the middle, I'm like looking not on you, but listening to your words very intently.
Yes. You can. Does that make it a better experience?
It's just different.
You can look at me, man. Don't be scared. It's fine.
It's like it's a person.
Yeah, I know. It's just like this. I don't know.
You know what?
It just feels.
Get Yoshi. And chuck him.
Yeah, put him on.
All right.
Chuck him there.
Yeah, there.
So we're doing a bit of psychology here as well. You're helping me overcome my fear of opening up, I guess.
You have a fear of opening up.
I got given one of those things today.
This one, the Buddha one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this from Singapore.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was there having coffee
I was
outside, and some monk came in, doesn't speak English, just gave me this and gave me a bracelet, and he was like, open his palm like money, like he's asking for donations.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I gave him like $20, I think.
20 Australian dollars?
Yeah.
I gave him $2.
Wow. Wow.
Because like
That's massive.
you don't really like. I thought about how what's the chance of me seeing him again or getting a request for a donation from a monk, and that hasn't happened. So I figured it'll be a one-time thing. So I gave them what I had and came home broke, scratching my head like why I give that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed that $20. It's
It's like my fare home.
Yeah.
That's
that's 2 calzones of crust.
I know, man. Yeah, now I have to go back and demand my $20 again from that man. You guys talked me into it.
So we've got a little bit off track, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's okay because we're delving into the issues. This is what a psychologist does, a therapist with
A bad one.
It's
So
like,
it's what a bad therapist does.
It was your mum. Maybe your
yeah,
dad.
but
Yeah, sort that out.
so when we did attempt this podcast last time, we actually didn't attempt it. We got through it and we did it. It was we had just wrapped shooting Green Out.
Yeah. It was like 10 minutes after wrapping. It was
Yes.
like we just packed up
Yeah,
and we let's do a podcast right now.
we did, and it was pretty cool. It was enjoyable. I remember touching on things like I think this was the first time with the scripts that Sam and I had written that we had just given it to somebody else, especially someone who was willing to take it and then add to it, which you did with Green Out, and which I think worked out really well. The added couple of scenes which we'll go through, a couple of shots and things that brought out a different sort of, or brought out the feeling you wanted to give this episode, where really we just wrote things just like you've said, Sam, in previous podcasts. It's easy to write smoking montage, and then what do you do with that as a director?
Yep.
So what's your approach normally when you come in with a script as short as it might have been? What was your approach to this?
I guess you just first read it, of course, and then as you read it, you usually get a visual or a vision in your head, like a specific one. Like I remember in the car scene, just having an image of you driving recklessly, with silly costumes and stuff like that. So that was the first kind of thing that came to my head, and just kind of create bridges that will support that image afterwards. So I guess it's just you read the script and then you kind of naturally have kind of visuals for each scene, and then you try and see kind of work on it and to the point where you can see it physically, like what kind of costume is he wearing, what kind of what color is it, what kind of lighting, stuff like that. Yeah,
sweet.
But for Green Out, I think it was one of those scripts where, because it came from you guys, and then I know the subject matter, and I knew the project was it shouldn't be taken too seriously. So it was more of a kind of just to see how much fun can have making this, and that's it.
So let's start playing the episode.
All right.
And just pause it whenever you want to say something.
Yeah. So this is the opening bong smoking montage, right?
Smoking montage.
What I got to say, even just from the jump, is that I like because you DP'd this as well.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's evolved beyond having to show everything, and from the beginning that. So here you don't have to show the whole bong, you don't have to show the bong water or the bubbles or anything like that necessarily, because for this particular sequence it doesn't have anything to do with anything. All that you were trying to get across, from my understanding, is maybe you should say that rather than me, but what were you trying to get across?
Yeah, because I think this scene isn't really about the bong. It's more like Rohan kind of smoking too much. If we had a joint, it'd be the same kind of gag where he just kind of inhales too much, and you'll see it in the montage, in a few jump cuts later on, he smokes a lot. So that was the main thing for this one.
Yeah.
And in those opening credits, I remember there was some confusion on how was that supposed to work, and the idea really, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it really came across, but the idea was because the episode was supposed to be this fear and loathing horror kind of surreal experience for Rohan of having too much pot. Jam. Yeah. The episode was supposed to be this horror, has his horror kind of nature to it. So I kind of wanted to see the episode to start off with something, fun at the beginning. You guys smoking weed, but the opening credits would kind of interrupt that with kind of this freaky kind of vibe to kind of hint that there's an impending. What is it? What's the word? Impending kind of.
Doom? Well, it's not really doom.
Not really doom, I guess, but something that's something bad is about to happen to Jam. And, and having that opening credits just kind of interrupt a fun moment, I thought would be good to communicate that.
Yeah, and the music is kind of, it has got that chirpy little video game type feel, and then you've got that, I like this effect.
Yeah.
Really dig it. And with the music.
Yeah, like what I said before about reading the script and kind of having a vision for it, that's one of the first things you would think about, when you read the script is, when, how do you communicate that he's stoned? And I think this was one of the first thing that you would think about is just slowing it down, slowing the music.
Yeah, I think it worked really well. You just know. Here we go. Check please again.
Yeah, this one wasn't in the script, was it?
No.
I think we added this afterwards. We kind of felt Jam needed something for him to be freaked out on.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I love this, how the angle you shot that on. It's just static shot, but he's kind of, it's off kilter. Something's off about it.
Yeah.
And I remember when we did write this check please, Sam and I were thinking about what to do. It was good that whole, you know, it's not like this is hasn't been done before, but it's like that the TV
Yeah.
characters are talking to you. And yeah, the build up of it is great. I think though the original idea we had was that you would see the frisbee, him getting hit by the frisbee, the Sam character, and then he'd be like, I need to go to the hospital, which triggers Jam.
Yeah.
But the way you've done it works perfectly, and then it becomes an outtake or like a thing at the end, which is a bit of fun.
I think the reason is just for pacing, basically. You just kind of didn't want to... I think when I was watching it with that shot you said, it kind of felt it was just making things longer than it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was mostly pacing.
Yeah.
I like the music that Justin did for this one.
It's suspense.
And this all here was the addition there. So that closet stuff where Jim's saying, "I'll just come in and get my hat or whatever."
Yeah, I think even on like our initial plan wasn't really you in the closet. You were supposed to be like above the couch.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had that shot, like a wider shot, but for some reason it just didn't work. And sometimes you know when you're making like a really short film, you really need to kind of sacrifice some shots in order for things to kind of work.
Well, I think what you did, I remember we did shoot that where Jim passes the couch,
the
keys and says, "Let's go," and rather than taking that angle and then carrying through, okay, now let's go to the next scene. You have this, and it's a harder cut to that, and I reckon it plays to the unreality of this episode. So I
think it wasn't like it's one of those things where you get a better feel once you start cutting it. Once you pretty much shoot coverage, so just in case you need that shot, you have it when you start cutting it. But editing is really, it's not adding shot. You're pretty much subtracting shots, from for your whole roll of footage or everything that we've shot. Editing is pretty much taking out stuff that you don't really need or isn't that important.
Good way to put it.
Better to have too much than not enough.
Exactly. I remember I was laughing so hard in this scene that I think Justin couldn't use the audio.
That line there. I was ranked the best rally driver in the Southern District. Because this scene here, I remember we improvised, right?
Yeah.
You just wanted us to say whatever. That line I remember was years ago. I was hanging out with some dudes and we parked at this footy oval, and I don't know what happened. I was just driving, and we just parked, and then some guys went off, and either they went to go smoke or shoot up. I don't even know. Like I didn't really know these guys well. And this guy's like, "Oh, can I drive your car?" I know what might not have been my car, but he was asking a friend, "Can I drive your car?" And my mate was like, "Nah." He's like, "Man, trust me." And this kid was 16, right? And he's saying, "Oh, I want to drive a car." And he goes, "Trust me, I'm the best rally driver." I'm the best rally driver. And him saying that line, "best rally driver," just entertained me to know. And I just pissed myself laughing when I said it because he was serious. He's like, "I'm the best rally driver." And then later you think about it, you're like, yeah, I guess that should fill you with confidence, right? To a degree. He's the best rally driver. He can handle a dirt track, this footy field or whatever he wanted to do. But at the time, you're like, fuck off, I'm not going to let you drive.
And also, he's 16, right?
That was a liar, man.
Yeah, well, exactly.
He just wanted to drive your car.
Yeah, he didn't drive the ar in the end. Thankfully, I think he would have fucked us up.
Yeah. You just see him take off down the road. Oh, he said he was the best rally driver.
Into a tree.
I remember he didn't like the drool.
I did not. Lucky it didn't come out too much, so I'm glad. But the drool to me is like...
But once you see it, you cannot not see it anymore.
Yeah, once you see it, it's there. Better that he's not blowing bubbles like he used to.
Yes.
For this one, I wish that... I wish people could have heard, like, the original audio track with just your voice, like, minus all the effects that Justin did. Like, the effects are great, I think. It really added to it, but the reason why I'm laughing so hard was really hearing your kind of natural voice.
Yeah. Okay.
As you kind of go through. Because I knew it was improvised as well. That's why I was laughing, because, like, we were coming up with this funny stuff on the spot. So, yeah, I couldn't control myself. Like, if you kind of play the original recording off the camera, you just hear me kind of breathing in and out.
And the little Easter egg surprise.
Yeah, man.
It was.
Yeah. I always laughed to that day.
The screen was great.
Yeah, the screen. It's all worked out brilliantly.
Yeah.
That's a good sequence, having everyone, the cast, the crew, everyone who worked on the episode, except for me. But
yeah, you should have got yourself in there.
and Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, Michael's one.
But yeah, it was fun to see everyone. Carly and Dave, Alex as well,
Yeah.
just having their own little roles.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people have mentioned how they asked how did you get the location, the hospital, and it really was it's a clinic, but and thanks to Carly's mum, Judy, who got us into there, and this is more like a plastic surgery type place, cosmetic surgery, and
Day surgery.
And now that you mention it, I remember she was part of the hallway scene, wasn't she? Like she was, but she was never featured because she was behind the reception desk.
So she was there, and what you don't see in the reception desk is she's actually pretty good because she was saying to me she didn't want to be on camera or anything like that.
She was the one sorting the papers, wasn't she?
Yeah. So, but when you go back to where is it? Sorry, when you go back to here, and I'm sort of signing the registration form or whatever, she was throwing papers at my head. There we go. You can see
that's
the hand.
Flower or something.
Yeah. So threw the flower and just went nuts, which was helpful, I think, because the scene was so chaotic, and that, for me anyway, made me feel a lot more chaotic. And this, by the way, speaking of, was an add-in by you. We in the script, I think, Sam, you and I wrote that this would be, he would go from that wild corridor straight to the doctor's room.
Yeah.
And so you wanted Mark to have this other cut to reality, even though Jam's not really at the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a very kind of used cut. Like, you've kind of seen this from like a lot of films where they kind of have this sequence of like really funny or really chaotic scenes and suddenly cut to a normal shot. So I think it was just fun to kind of do it, see and kind of apply it to one of the things you're working on and just see it happen. Yeah, I think kind of it was a good project to kind of use it on because it was just like just have fun with it.
There's Justin.
Yeah, I remember I told Justin because he needed some sort of action. I told him to zip up.
Oh, you just tell him to do it? I like it.
What's the backstory there?
I don't know.
He was in the toilet?
I told him just make up your own interpretation. Like what is it?
And here's our doctor, Chris Gaffney.
Yeah.
Great actor.
He was perfect for the role.
He was, really.
He didn't need any direction at all.
Going back, he actually...
Wouldn't listen to it.
We all did.
He just said one word, but it was like... Yeah, it's good.
He was the right kookiness, I think, for it.
Oh.
Now, this shot here was meant to be Jam on the Moon.
Yeah. I don't know what. I think it works because it's so random that you just go like, what? And then that's the point of this episode, isn't it? It's big what.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like there's just so many levels that it's been going down.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Definitely.
There's no way to follow it.
That's right. And that's why your hospital insert worked, Mark. And that's why that didn't matter if it wasn't on the moon. It just was
okay. It was just silly, goofy, random.
I love that. That was good. The whole snap to reality in a sense. But again, it's not reality. He's not even in the hospital.
Yeah. It's all Rohan, man. Rohan's a good actor.
He's done a great job. This episode came through well. And this nice transition, I really dig this. Just panning and I like that you were able to show off the capacity of your camera here as well. Like
my camera.
Just shot with candles.
Yeah, I used to have an Epic, but not anymore.
What happened to the red Epic, man?
Sold it.
What do you think it's doing right now?
I don't know. Probably having sex or something.
Shooting porn.
Yeah.
Shoot porn. We're gonna shoot porn on red.
Yeah.
That's someone's
5K,
crazy idea.
100 frames.
Guy with loads of money. I'm gonna do porn differently.
Slow it right down.
Yeah, but that's what ended up happening. Actually, this whole scene was I think Jim was meant to be standing there. I don't even remember, but putting him in the bathtub is the perfect.
Yeah, but it was definitely in the bathroom, right? Like this scene was really in the bathroom.
And there's the I guess you could call this sort of a, what would you call it, a suburban shaman.
Yeah.
It's like that whistling, the singing of the song, candles lit. It's really just bringing his friend back.
True. You have that Carly's voice.
Yeah, Carly and her sister Kim, who are singing here. And even with episode 2, we just changed the pace and didn't end the song with the Doobie Nights theme. Instead, we finished with this song.
And something to kind of
Bring it lightly back.
Yeah, I remember putting it there at the end just so that people kind of have the impression of like it's just a show, we're just having fun.
Yeah.
We won't really make you hallucinate that badly.
Yeah. It's interesting because after Green Out, our hit rate dropped significantly, Mark. I think people were scared in their pants.
What the fuck is this?
These guys went from munchies to this. Oh, what do you want?
Is that what we can do?
I'm out.
I thought the frisbee would make them laugh at the end. You're like, oh yeah.
I did hear a lot of people saying that. They liked it.
Yeah, man.
They liked that.
If you're really going to get thrown off by this episode, then this show's not for you.
I got asked if that was actually real.
Yeah, someone's watching it like a documentary, like, oh my god.
If what was real?
I knew it.
The frisbee hit me in the head was real.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it was.
It
Oh,
was
if
real, but
accidentally
if
happened.
it just happened.
Yeah, right. You did take a couple of knocks for Check Please. You got the slap in the face. That was a real slap.
That's true,
That's
man.
Method. You're a method actor. You are a method
I am a
actor.
method actor.
Yeah,
I
you
am.
are.
That guy in Check Please, I had to get into that character for a while. I worked in a quickie mart.
Right, so you just threw frisbee around with some hippies for a while.
Yeah.
Got into that mode.
Mm-hmm. Drank a lot of coffees.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much Green Out. Now, Mark.
Yep.
What I was going to ask you is, what are your final thoughts?
Final
on
thoughts
the episode?
on the episode?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's fun to make. It's fun to watch. So I guess I had fun.
Yeah.
No, seriously, but yeah, I mean, it's good that you guys gave me that trust to kind of just do whatever I want to. So that's, appreciated. Yeah.
Anytime.
That's it.
I think it was a good experience, man. I
it
enjoyed
was-
the process.
Yeah, you made a slick episode, man.
Yeah, and also I remember I was excited to shoot the car scenes because I know we didn't have any budget to kind of do it properly, kind of do it outside and stuff like that. So that was shot inside a garage,
Yeah.
your parents' garage, and
It
it was like it was kind of just fun to kind of see if your idea was gonna work or not, and yeah, it's cool to kind of see everything together with the music, with the effects and stuff like that, with the grade and stuff. Yeah,
Definitely.
it's always fun to make films.
Definitely one of my favourite episodes, man. I think you did a really good job.
Cool, man.
Really appreciate that you came on board for it. That brings us to the end.
I reckon.
So, Mark, if
How long was that?
3 hours.
if people want to check you out, Mark,
Check me
your
out.
work, you're Mark Inducil.com.
Yep, that's correct.
Are you on any other things of
Um,
interest?
No, just that.
Just that. So
There's
you-
some links on my Vimeo if someone wants to add me or
How do they
something.
find you there?
There's a link on the website.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks
Cool.
for doing this, man. And maybe season 2 we'll see another Mark Inducil directed episode.
Is there gonna be season 2?
Should there be?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I think so.
Then we're gonna have season 2.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Remember, I'm the uncle. You're the
The
dad.
uncle.
So if you want to have another kid, that's up to you.
Well, it's time for the uncle to visit again. Yeah, he misses you. Awesome, man. Thanks a lot.
Cool, man. Awesome. It was very weird.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of got in the flow again.
No, yeah, I think so. I think it's strange at the beginning, but
Yeah. Because you're talking to each other, but you're kind of talking to this other.
it's true. It's almost like there's some other entity around the room that's gonna be like criticizing what you're saying.
Oh,
and,
fuck off.
Yeah.
Master, fuck you, the master.
Master.
My ass, mate.
Master bike, man.
What about Pocahontas?
What about Aladdin? That's a fucking movie. God, those people and magic carpets.
You did well.
Yeah.